Department of Transportation, Secretary Arthur Togado, sir, and President Rodrigo Roa Duterte for the full support in improving the PCG's capability. As we invest in modernizing our resources, I trust that the men and women of the Philippine Coast Guard will find renewed drive to step up their performance and service to the nation. This is how we build confidence among stakeholders and cultivate the blue economy we hope to grow. In harmony with the Department of Transportation Trust, the PCG shall ensure safe and secure maritime transport network to provide comfortable life to the riding public and the Filipino people. Again, welcome to the Philippine Coast Guard's 117th anniversary celebration. Mabuhay ang tanod baybay ng Pilipinas. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you, Admiral Hermoino, sir.
We will now proceed to the highlight of this program, the presentation of the awards. As traditionally done, the PCG had evaluated and determined the performance of its personnel and operating units that produced the best for the year to be recognized during its annual anniversary celebration.
And to give due recognition to our awardees, may we request our guest of honor, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, to present the awards. He will be assisted by the Secretary of the Department of Transportation, Secretary Arthur P. Tugade, and the Commandant, Philippine Coast Guard, Admiral Elson E. Hermoino.
For the individual awards, for having been adjudged as the Philippine Coast Guard Non-Officer of the Year, the plaque of recognition is hereby awarded to Chief Petty Officer J.R. Mateo, Philippine Coast Guard of the Coast Guard District Northwestern Luzon.
Thank you and congratulations.
For having been adjudged as the Non-Uniformed Personnel of the Year, the plaque of recognition is presented to Mrs. Evelina Tabogo.
Thank you and congratulations. For having been adjudged as the Lighthouse Keeper of the Year, the plaque of recognition is presented to Administrative Aid 1, Donald A. Suaviso of Maritime Safety Services Unit, Coast Guard District, Bicol. Thank you and congratulations. At this point, we will now proceed to the conferment of awards to the Coast Guard Station of the Year Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, and the Substation of the Year. The classification of these units is based on the volume of maritime traffic in their respective regions. The PCG has 13 regional districts, 67 stations, and 324 substations situated in different coastal regions nationwide. They are the frontliners in the field, performing the mandates of the PCG.
For having been adjudged as the Coast Guard Station Class Alpha of the Year, the plaque of recognition is hereby given to Coast Guard Station Manila of the Coast Guard District National Capital Region, Central Luzon. Receiving the award is the Station Commander of Coast Guard Station Manila, Lieutenant Commander Air Land F. Lapitan, Philippine Coast Guard.
Thank you and congratulations. For having been adjudged as the Coast Guard Station Class Bravo of the Year, the plaque of recognition is hereby given to Coast Guard Station Lanao del Norte of Coast Guard District, Northern Mindanao. Receiving the award is the Station Commander of Coast Guard Station Lanao del Norte, Ensign Cherry Rose P. Manaay.
Congratulations. For having been adjudged as the Coast Guard Station Class Charlie of the Year, the plaque of recognition is hereby given to Coast Guard Station Cuyo of Coast Guard District, Palawan. Receiving the award is the Station Commander of Coast Guard Station Cuyo, Senior Chief Petty Officer Danilo V. Ubales, Philippine Coast Guard.
Thank you and congratulations. For having been adjudged as the Coast Guard Substation of the Year, the plaque of recognition is hereby given to Coast Guard Substation Araceli under Coast Guard Station Cuyo of Coast Guard District, Palawan. Receiving the award is the Substation Commander of Coast Guard Substation Araceli, Petty Officer 2nd Class Hector S. Avila, Philippine Coast Guard. Thank you and congratulations.
As a seagoing agency, the PCG relies on its air and surface assets to accomplish its mission. At present, PCG has 34 capital ships, 34 small crafts, 300 small boats, and 4 aircrafts. In addition, PCG personnel man and operate 10 30-meter surveillance vessels of the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, 10 44 multi-role response vessels from Japan, and 2 newly commissioned 24-meter fast patrol boats from France. They are strategically deployed over a wide maritime area to maximize presence. This year's high-performing assets are:
For having been adjudged as Craft of the Year, the plaque of recognition is hereby given to Diesel Fast 314. Receiving the award is the boat captain of DF 314, Chief Petty Officer Ferdinand C. Manaay, Philippine Coast Guard. Thank you and congratulations.
for having been adjudged as the best monitoring, control, and surveillance vessel of the year. The plaque of recognition is hereby given to Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, MCS 3007. Receiving the award is the commanding officer of BFAR MCS 3007, Commander Antonio B. Santillonosa Jr., Philippine Coast Guard.
Thank you and congratulations. For having been adjudged as the Ship of the Year, the plaque of recognition is hereby given to Barko ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Malabrigo, MRRB 4402. Receiving the award is the commanding officer of BRP Malabrigo, Captain Charlie Q. Rances, Philippine Coast Guard.
Thank you
Thank
and
you.
congratulations. For having been adjudged as the PCG Aircraft of the Year, the plaque of recognition is hereby given to PCG Islander 251. Receiving the award is the Acting Commander of Coast Guard Aviation Force and the Pilot in Command of PCG Islander 251, Commander Phillips Y. Soria, Philippine Coast Guard.
Once again, congratulations and thank you to all our awardees.
And to formally introduce our guest of honor and speaker for today's occasion, may we request The Secretary of the Department of Transportation, Secretary Arthur P. Tugade.
Mga kababayan, ladies and gentlemen, ang ating panauhing pandangal sa anibersaryo ng Philippine Coast Guard, ang Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Kindly sit down. Salamat po sa courtesy. I will read my prepared speech. Kaawa naman yung gumawa nito. But you know, it's just a two-page, almost like a greeting. But if you will allow me, I will just add the sentiments of the day para we are kept posted on what we intend to do in government. Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade and the other members of the Cabinet, AFP Chief of Staff General Carlito Galvez, Philippine Coast Guard Commandant Admiral Elson Hermohino, officials, enlisted personnel, and the 2018 awardees of the Philippine Coast Guard, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to join you today as we celebrate the many accomplishments of the Philippine Coast Guard in the past 117 years. The agency is more than a century of service to the Filipino people and has indeed been fruitful and is worthy of recognition. I congratulate the PCG for its achievements, which have led to the institution's greater participation in our collective task of nation building. The fulfillment of your mandate to enforce maritime law, protect our maritime environment, and secure our maritime territories has contributed greatly in keeping our people safe from the dangers that become at sea. I am glad that the reforms that we have instituted since 2016 are now bearing fruit. The PCG's acquisition of new weapons, equipment, and several multi-purpose response vehicles and fast patrol boats that are complete with modern computerized system has indeed helped enhance our law enforcement capabilities. Evidently, the success of the PCG would not have been possible without the contributions of its officers, its enlisted men, their personal achievements, which have pushed for developments that are crucial in making the agency more efficient and responsive to the challenges of the times and to the demands of our citizens. To the awardees, this administration acknowledges your exemplary work in PCG. May you remain committed in performing our responsibilities as defenders of the land and protectors of our citizens. Please know that all your sacrifices are truly and greatly appreciated. I urge the entire Philippine Coast Guard to build on its accomplishments and to continue its efforts in upholding our country's maritime security. More than ever, we need brave men and women like you in safeguarding our seas and shores, especially at this period when our resources are becoming crucial to the progress of our economy. Rest assured that while you had call of duty, the government remains steadfast in strengthening the capabilities of the PCG by raising its standards and streamline infrastructures and modernized equipment. May these accomplishments that you celebrate today inspire everyone to work harder for the common good. Take this day as an opportunity to seek encouragement from your fellow troops as you advance the causes of PCG. Let us move and act further to empower the men and women of the Coast Guard and enhance the agency's services to benefit the Filipino people. Again, happy anniversary, and receive, and I convey to you the gratitude of a grateful nation. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Now for the general opinion will move to TESDA. I will promote you to a cabinet member position. That's a General Jagger Guerrero, you are to move to the Bureau of Customs. Saan po kayo? Alam ko ayaw ninyong umalis sa marina. Walang marina dyan na babae, puro barko yan at bakal. Is Jagger here? I know that you are reluctant to. I know that you are happy there and you are contented, so I've heard. But the demands of public service and the need for honest men requires your presence there. Good luck. I will look for your replacement. Sino ba mag-retire dito na Navy na yung hindi binangga yung barko niya noon? But if there is one, then I'm sorry if you mishandled even a little bit our ships. I will look for the Marina also coming from the Navy or Coast Guard or whatever. Kung sino lang ang pinakamahal. Maybe you'll report next week for the I'm handing out your appointments and your oath of office. Madali lang yan. Patayin mo yan mga putang ina. Hindi mo madala sa istorya. Hulog mo dyan sa... And there will be some minor revamps downstairs. Hihintay lang ako. Rolly is... I think happy with the DSWD. Yun lang ang maano. But, you know, I said, it might be a redundant thing almost to, baka ayaw maniwala, nobody would believe us because we uttered it every day. But if there's anything that we would like to leave something, just a little bit. It would be we cannot stop it, but we can reduce it to the barest minimum. So, Sid, yung trabaho ng TESDA is quite something of a, it could be messy at times. But I'm sure your training as a military man, just like Drager, would augur well for the country. And that's the reason why I said time and again, I have nothing against the bureaucracy. Pero pag gusto mong, if you want something done, and done fast, per your order, you get a military. And if there are some misgivings about any orders coming from you, rest assured that I'm a lawyer, that I do not give illegal orders. you can be very sure that when I say do it and do it fast, do it, because that is what is utterly lacking in this country. Wala akong ano sa bureaucracy. They are bright, civil service eligible. Some of them have finished their PhD. But unfortunately, the 6 years term is not just really enough. You have to move fast. And I could cite to you the Maranao siege. I needed houses immediately, and we had the corresponding funding. But had I left it to the bureaucracy, it's either it's not being done until now, or without being offensive to anyone, sometimes the fundings are lost along the way. It's always a Murphy's law. Anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. But my chances of being followed without corruption gives me the odds of the law of averages in my favor if these guys are in. I'll just let you know that most of them, I do not know them as a personal friends, but I know them as friends because almost all of them have been assigned to Mindanao for the many years that I was also the mayor and vice mayor and congressman of our place. God willing, if I finish my term, then I would have served my country for 40 years. I started as a public prosecutor. So yan lang ang ano ko. We will, and let me, just to give Jagger also a chance, I am ordering the freezing of all section department units of the Bureau of Customs out. General Guerrero, you can have the personnel of, and I'm ordering the Coast Guard to provide the outer periphery, and you might want to utilize some departmental, I don't know, but I'll talk to you and leave it to your discretion. Out lahat. To the last man, out. The commissioners are out, the department heads out, the entire, they are as of. You better go there tomorrow sa kusina ko so that we can have the ceremonies right away. I'd like to order, where's my aide? Dilo. Pagawa mo na yung appointments nila so that we can have the ceremony tomorrow. At least there's the continuity of, but I think my orders to you, Jagger, is ilagay mo yan sila sa opisina sila. They are on floating status. The outer periphery ganyan, will be taken care of by the Coast Guard. And maybe you can have, even you can utilize military men. The excess dyan sa walang trabaho, lalo na yung mga babae. You can suspend 2 or 3 days for them to learn. Hindi naman mahirap yan yung x-ray yan. If you are corrupt, the no amount of x-rays that's there filled with above, you can never see it. But kung hindi ka corrupt, makikita mo talaga kung anong, what's the Tagalog for hulagway? Tagalog ng mulagway. Makita mo yung Hulagway is the view, the scenery. Unfortunately, my Tagalog is limited. Yun. See, the bigger picture of the whole thing. So you can have order the suspension of see, stop lahat yan. Then maybe anong unit dyan sa military o navy o selected. Madali lang man yung ano. And if you think that there's really something, a way which they can do it, baklasin mo lahat. And do not mind if there's a delay of 1 year in the cargo. Sabi ko, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. And so you have to, I leave it up to you. Trabaho mo yan. And so for the others, I'm just warning you that corruption is the thing that I am passionate about. Do not ask me why. But if you ask me why, I will tell you. I started as a prosecutor. During Marcos's time, there was yet no ombudsman. So the prosecutors were limited to a few. I was one of those coming from Mindanao who was designated as special Tanod Bayan prosecutor in addition to my being a regular prosecutor of Davao City prosecution. And to me, I would consider the height of, if I were also to face a court, a graft court, and I would not like that to happen to me or to you. To you because you're imbued with love of country and the fact that we are here to help our people. Saka, kontento na tayo sa we don't have the lifestyles of the rich and famous. I mean, even if we have the money, it doesn't fit us, doesn't look good. As a matter of fact, it's ugly. So let us be content with what we have and work for the benefit of the entire Filipino nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
On that note, may we request our beloved President to remain on stage for some photo opportunities with PCG personnel. Thank you, sir.
May we call on the first batch of for the photo opportunities. May we request everyone to please be seated. And for the second batch for the photo opportunities to please prepare